Pinna Park is a regional amusement park on Pinna Island just off the southwest part of Isle Delfino. It's hard to tell how long Pinna Park has been open, but the bright colors and remarkably clean pathways suggest it's been a recent addition to the island. Pinna Park is home to a total of 5 rides and 1 roller coaster, and it seems to always have some guests wandering around, but I've never seen it with a crowd. The rides here are all meant to appeal to families and smaller children, with the exception of the roller coaster and Viking. We'll get into the rides later though. The park is not a primary draw to the area. Most people come out to Delfino to relax on the beach or tour the island, but it's something to do in the afternoon when you have some time to kill. You may have already noticed from walking around, but this park is weird. There's some things it does right, some things it does wrong, and a lot of stuff it just doesn't do. So let's get into that. As I said, Pinna Park is located on Pinna Island, which is pretty far away from Delfino Plaza. Luckily, getting to Pinna Island is just a 30-second cannon from the west docks. Of course, the park is only accessible by cannon, so if you're afraid of heights, speeds, loud noises, or landings, it can be a difficult trip, so families should keep that in mind. The park provides a boat to get back to Delfino Plaza. The first thing you'll notice about Pinna is its colors. The park is bright, and that's not always a good thing. You won't find much shade anywhere, and the guy who has sunglasses thinks I'm not cool enough to have any. That being said, Pinna is really well themed and has some great landscaping and a killer entrance. Just remember that when you first see the entrance, you should tuck and roll. There are 4 flat rides at Pinna Park. The Yoshi Go Round is a classic carousel that was probably opened with the park. There's not a whole lot to say about it, except that I was missing one of the Yoshi-themed ride vehicles. I hope they can get that fixed soon. The Clam Cups confuses me. I can't figure out what it does, or what the ride actually is, but the other guests seem to be having a blast, so maybe I just need to pay this park a revisit. And then you have the Ferris wheel. I think you have to have a jetpack to even reach this ride. I assume they sell those in the gift shop, but I brought my own. But even when I got to the top of this tower, I couldn't find any way to actually get in line. It's probably under construction, but it wasn't marked anywhere. Like I said, this park is really strange. Regardless, the view was amazing. The thrill rides at this park is the Viking. I think these are Intamin starships, or maybe some knockoff version. Very cool rides. However, these don't have any restraints, or seats for that matter. For a ride that goes upside down, that is a bit worrying. The roller coaster at Pinna was some form of in-house single-rail roller coaster. It's rare, but not impossible to find these sorts of things at smaller parks with tight budgets, but the size of this one is impressive for a park-built ride. It's definitely a newer addition to the park because I got one ride on it and it broke for the rest of the day, so that's a bit unfortunate. The coaster is picturesque and encircles the rest of the park along with the entire island. It's really cool. The layout fits the rest of the park as well, rocketing through a reverse finish loop before crawling through the second half of the layout. Huge pacing problems, but being the only coaster at the park, it's a good fit for the thrill seekers that aren't served by the smaller flat rides. Overall, I can't say it's worth coming out to this park just to ride, but it is pretty good. Let's get into the really weird stuff about Pinna. All of the rides just continuously run. There's no operators or control booths. If you want to ride, you just hop on, and then you hop off when you're done. I assume it's a cost-saving measure or something, but it really makes you feel like the main character of a video game, just doing whatever you want. That being said, it's a huge safety issue. If someone starts to get hurt, there's no one there to stop the ride, and there's no one there to help people on and off the ride who would need it. Another surprise, there's no buildings at all. No food stalls, no offices, no bathrooms. I wanted to ask about that last one, but saw the pool under Viking, and my questions were answered probably more than I wanted them to be. In summary, Pinna Park is a really unique park that does just about everything you expect differently. Sometimes it feels like they skip safety for some cost-saving measures, and that's never a good thing, but it seems like they're able to get away with it because of the remote location and whatever deal they have with the government of Delfino Isle. As a final score, I'd give Pinna Park a 5 out of 10. Overall, I'd recommend stopping by if you're ever on Isle Delfino, but it's not really worth making the trip solely to get the rides there. I would nominate Pinna Park for the Golden Ticket Award for Best Parking Lot Transportation.